My endless encounter with Kenyans who have suffered in the hands of law enforcers remind me of how much more is yet to be done to reform our nation.
Picture this. A fiery lawyer, the voice of Kenya's voiceless, standing tall against a government accused of trampling rights. Then, in a jaw-dropping twist, she joins hands with the very president she has criticized. Faith Odhiambo, Law Society of Kenya's fearless leader, has accepted William Ruto's offer to lead a victims' compensation panel, and Kenyans are livid. Is this a masterstroke for justice or a betrayal of trust? Buckle up as we unravel this political bombshell that has got the nation buzzing.
I have today chosen a bold but unpopular step. Some of my colleagues in the legal profession and also in the public have reached out to me voicing their fears and reservations.
That this particular effort is victim-centered, it is impartial, and it is non-partisan.
On September 4th, 2025, at the Kenyatta International Convention Center, Faith Odhiambo was sworn in as Vice Chairperson of panel of experts on compensation of victims of protests and riots. This wasn't just any appointment. It was a move orchestrated by President William Ruto, announced by a Gazette notice on August 25th. The panel, chaired by Professor Makau Mutua, has a 120-day mission to identify, verify, and compensate victims of protests since 2017. Sounds noble, right? But here's the kicker. Odhiambo, a legal warrior who has spent years calling out Ruto's administration for human rights abuses, said yes to this role.
The panel of experts that I joined today bears both the duty and opportunity to spearhead a revolutionary shift in victim reparations. Never again shall Kenyans be killed by trigger-hungry officers for expressing their rights on the streets. The unprecedented structure and scope of mandate of this panel gives room for a victim-led, accountability-centered approach towards realizing holistic justice for victims. Let us serve the nation diligently, fellow panelists. We must discharge our duties as voices of justice, reparation, reforms, and non-occurrence.
The same woman who just months ago rejected Ruto's debt audit task force for being unconstitutional. The irony is thicker than Nairobi traffic on a Monday morning. Why does this sting? Odhiambo has built a reputation as Kenya's moral compass. As LSK president, she has been the megaphone for Generation Z protesters brutalized by police, the advocate for families mourning loved ones lost to state violence. Her rejection of that debt audit task force in July 2024 had Kenyans cheering. Here was a leader who wouldn't bend to political pressure. So, when she accepted this new role, it felt like a plot twist nobody saw coming.
In this exercise, my service will be solely to the people of Kenya. There is no Kenya that belongs exclusively to politicians or their children. Neither does it belong to broad-based government, nor a country of cousins. We only have one nation that we must protect, the Republic of Kenya. We must rise to the occasion as a people. Do whatever it takes to reinvent Kenya's victim reparations framework into a model that prioritizes the needs, rights, and interests of victims. Such a process does not belong to the members of this panel. It belongs to the victims and the common mwananchi.
Let us break down this panel. Its mandate is to design a framework to compensate victims of protests and riots starting from 2017, a period marked by election violence, police brutality, and more recently the Generation Z uprising of June 2024. That movement saw young Kenyans flood the streets demanding accountability, only to face tear gas, bullets, and a police officer later caught tampering with firearm records. The panel's job: authenticate data from bodies like the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, recommend reparations, push for prosecutions, and suggest laws to prevent future violence. It is a tall order, with the Secretariat at KICC and funding tied to the Public Finance Management Act. On paper, it is a step towards justice, but Kenyans aren't buying it. Why? Because Ruto's track record on promises is shakier than a matatu on a potholed road. Many see this as a PR stunt to cool public anger while shielding the state from real accountability. And Odhiambo's involvement? That is the salt in the wound.
The proof of the pudding is always in the eating. Judge us by what we do, not what we say. Judge us by what we do, not what we say. We will talk less so that our actions can speak louder.
The backlash wasn't instant. On X, Kenyans didn't hold back. Lawyer Miguna called it a, quote, cynical move to co-opt dissenters. User Levi Munyeri warned Odhiambo risked becoming, quote, Ruto's pawn, while the artist in Kenya society begged her to step back, saying her impartiality as a human rights champion was at stake. Posts like this flooded the platform, with one user, Chris Sambu, accusing Ruto of cherry-picking vocal critics like Odhiambo and Amnesty International's Irungu Hongton, also as the panel to silence them. The word, quote, sellout trended faster than a viral TikTok dance. But not everyone is throwing shade. A few like ex-user Josh001J argue Odhiambo is inside the tent now, where she can fight for victims, families and push for real change. It is a classic Kenyan debate. Do you work within the system or burn it down from outside? The jury is still out, but the court of public opinion is leaning hard toward betrayals.
That this exercise is not a replacement.
Odhiambo didn't take the criticism lying down. At the swearing-in, she came out swinging, her voice steady but her words heavy with conviction. Quote, I have not betrayed your trust, she declared, addressing a nation watching her every move. She called her decision as an act of patriotism, driven by the cries of families who have lost sons and daughters to protest violence. Quote, I have answered calls at midnight from Kenyans in distress, she said, painting a picture of an LSK president haunted by the weight of her role. Her promise, transparency, regular updates, and a relentless focus on justice. She vowed to resign if the panel's work is sabotaged, a bold line in the sand. Odhiambo also took a swipe at the status quo, slamming Kenya's legal system for failing victims. She said, quote, prosecutions move slower than a snail on Valium, she quipped, a rare flash of wit in a tense moment. Her argument, this panel is a chance to rewrite the script, to force the state to face its sins and pay up, literally and figuratively.
In the same vein, I have heard the cries of victims' families, like Mama Angeline Okindo in Bondo, the pain shared by Jonah Kariuki, Mama Gillian Munyao, and many other parents whose sons and daughters have fallen in the hands of Kenya police officers.
This isn't just about Faith Odhiambo, it is about trust, or lack of it, in Kenya's institutions. Ruto's government is under fire for everything from economic woes to police excesses. The Gen Z protests exposed a generation fed up with empty promises and tear-gas diplomacy. A panel like this could either be a turning point or another government whitewash. Odhiambo's role puts her at the heart of that gamble. If she delivers, she could redefine justice for protest victims. If she fails, or worse, if she is seen as complicit, she risks touching her legacy and the LSK credibility. And let's not kid ourselves, Ruto is no stranger to strategic appointments. Co-opting critics like Odhiambo and Hongton could neutralize their influence, turning watchdogs into lapdogs. But Odhiambo's track record, rejecting that dead audit, championing human rights, suggests she is not here to play nice. The question is whether she can outmaneuver a system that has queued up reformers before.
Constitution, and let justice be our shield and defender. Thank you.
As the panel's 120-day clock ticks, all eyes are on Odhiambo. Will she hold Ruto accountable or get swallowed by political quicksand? Can she balance her role as LSK president with this new alliance? And what does this mean for Kenya's youth, who see her as both a hero and now a question mark? These stories far from over. The panel's first report could either calm the storm or ignite a bigger one. One thing is certain, Kenyans are watching, and so should you. What do you think? Has Faith Odhiambo sold out, or is she playing chess while the rest of us play checkers? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. For Maisha TV, I'm William Juma.